Yo, what is going on, everyone? It's GentooMan here, also known as Rainy, and today's story time is it's just funny. It makes me laugh. It's ridiculous, but it makes me laugh. So I hope you guys enjoy it too, and let's hop right into it. So I mentioned in my last video this girl that I went to high school with who we called Sienna. This is another story about her, and I mentioned in that last video that she's fairly not shy when it comes to her body. So if you want more context on Sienna, definitely go watch that last video. But this story takes place a couple years ago, actually, and it was when we were taking graduation photos for school. So I don't know why my school decided to do the grad photos like they did, but they did them really early in the morning on a fucking Saturday. It wasn't even early before school. It was on a fucking Saturday. It was on a weekend. So I had to wake up super early on a weekend. And I remember waking up, it was a Saturday. I had to be there at 7 a.m. It was fucking ridiculous. But they wanted you to wear formal attire under your cap and gown. So I had to wake up early and I had to get myself dressed into a suit and get my hair looking nice and everything. Because my mom was super particular about this. She always is. My mom is really particular about appearances in public and stuff. So for my graduation photos, she was really strict on how I could look. I didn't give a fuck. I would have pulled up to that in a hoodie with my hair looking normal. But no, my mom was not having any of that. So I put on this suit, I get my hair done. I will not lie, I was looking pretty dripped out this morning. I was content with my appearance, and once I had done that, I went off to the school. I got to the school, I walked inside, and they only had certain students there on certain days. I don't know how the hell they chose to divide it, but they divided it so that only a couple students were there at the same time. They scheduled you a time and stuff. And I walked in, and there was a couple people there. And I saw someone that I knew who was Sienna. And Sienna was literally just in her fucking pajamas. And she was holding this fancy dress and her cap and gown. And she comes up to me, she's like, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm doing all right. You're just gonna take your grad photos in your pajamas, huh?" She laughs a little bit. She's like, "No, I'm gonna get changed at the school. They said we can get changed here before it's our turn." And I'm like, "Oh, wish I had fucking known that. Otherwise I could have slept in a little bit." Anyways, we don't end up talking for too long. We kind of have to go off to get in our lines, and Sienna has to go get changed so that she's not in pajamas in her grad photo. And so I'm just kind of standing waiting for my photographer to be ready so that I can get my grad photos taken. And when it was finally my turn, this photographer took a fuck ton of photos, all sorts of poses and angles and shit. He had to get the perfect fucking photo of me, I guess. And as I was getting my photos taken, the spot right next to me where the other photographer was, who was a girl, she got her person to come in, and it was Sienna. And Sienna was wearing her cap and gown, and she was about to get her photos taken. And I remember as this was happening, my photographer was like, "Hey, I just have to go get something, a different lens that I want to use. I'll be right back." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, no problem." So I'm just kind of sitting there, and when I'm just sitting there and I'm bored, I'll just kind of look around at my surroundings. So I was watching Sienna get her pictures taken. And to be honest, I was really not expecting the outcome that happened here. So what ended up happening is she was kind of just doing a basic standing up pose. And her photographer was counting down 3, 2, 1 till the flash. And the flash is right because right as the photographer took the picture, Sienna lifts up her grad gown and is just completely naked. So I just sort of turned my attention away and only watched through the side of my eyes to see how this plays out. And the photographer is just dumbfounded. She does not know what to say. And Sienna, being an absolute savage, I guess, is like, "Oh, wait, you didn't get my butt." And then turns around and pulls it out and just kind of stands there for a second until the photographer still says nothing. She's like, "No? Okay, I'm going to go, get dressed now." The photographer's like, "Yeah, okay, you do that." And Sienna runs off, killing herself laughing. And I don't see her for the rest of the day. My photographer comes back, he finishes my photos, and I leave because I'm tired. It's early in the morning. But I just thought this was funny. Sienna is just a straight savage, I guess, who doesn't care. She just does not give a fuck. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much the story. It's a bit of a shorter one, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new. You all know the drill at this point. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Later.